Jacob Frankel of Dickinson Wright joins me now. Jacob, you think so, but my question is, this is a free market, right? And as long as people get some kind of disclosure going in, shouldn't we let it run?
There's no question about it, and I'm certainly not advocating that there be that level of micro regulation of trading. What we're really talking about here is the inherent conflict between the market's regulatory role and its role as a commercial enterprise. Back when I was at the SEC, I seem to remember it was around 1994, the SEC's Division of Market Regulation actually issued a report that said it would be difficult to create or to provide for different tiers of regulation for retail institutional market participants and still maintain fair and orderly equity markets. What it really boils down to is, what is the SEC's mission? The two fundamental prongs are, number one, to protect investors, number two, to maintain fair, orderly, and efficient markets. And the question is this notion of fair and orderly markets now some type of securities regulation rhetoric?
Well, is this,
and the other question,
look at GameStop, look at AMC, is this fair and orderly enough, right? Because, I mean, you don't want your markets completely orderly, right? Because that's no fun.
Of course not.
You need some volatility to make some money, right?
John, but going back to my, in fact, my commentary on CNBC about GameStop early on, what happened in GameStop is you had a company was blowing through circuit breakers, the market circuit breakers time and time again. I seem to remember it was like 10 circuit breakers over 2 days. I think the SEC completely dropped the ball in GameStop.
So what should they have done?
What the SEC should have done in GameStop, in my opinion, and I said this back then, was impose a trading suspension. The whole purpose of a trading suspension is to protect the public interest, protect investors. It's an administrative determination. The stock could have resumed trading right away, but again, it doesn't mean a stock should be trading only in penny or quarter increments.
But Jacob, if they had done that, as it was, right, when Robinhood came out and limited trading just on the Robinhood app, there were all kinds of voices crying conspiracy, saying that they were coming in to save the hedge funds, save the short sellers. That's not what was going on. But if the SEC had come in when the stock's going up and it appears like retail investors are the beneficiaries, wouldn't that have hurt its credibility?
Well, it comes back to, what does it mean? What is the SEC's mission? To protect investors. It doesn't say retail investors, it's investors. The market is retail and institutional investors. I'm not saying it should be favoring retail over institutional, over short sellers. The fact is, the SEC has an important role. I don't think it should be creating regulations that, well, I use the phrase again, sort of micro-regulate, micromanage the trading. On the other hand, I think there was a very different issue, in GameStop, which hopefully the SEC is looking at, which is whether there was actual stock manipulation involved there. But back to your fundamental. Okay.
What would that look like? I mean, to me, it seems like AMC is just going just as crazy as GME was back in January. So what makes this different this time?
Well, again, I don't know that it necessarily is different, and I think the SEC has to be taking a close look at what is happening in AMC, no different than it looked at GameStop, no different than it should be looking at any company that is trading disproportionately to what the market should bear. The question is, what does that mean? Right. And it really brings back another fundamental question, which is, what role do fundamentals have to play?
Oh my goodness!
What role is there with respect to the true merits of this company?
That's a whole. That's a whole other thing. But bottom line, is the SEC going to be late to the party again this time, in your opinion?
Well, I don't know if it's going to be late to the party. I think it clearly failed in its mission, because in GameStop, it had the opportunity to say, when a company trades completely out of control, we have a stop mechanism that we could put in place. I think they're probably looking at AMC, and they would be looking at all of these. To me, the real question is, longer term, are they investigating? And more important for the market protection function, if there's a violation, it's important that the SEC bring enforcement cases to show that these, what appear to be semi or even contrived natural forces had a fraudulent component. I don't know if there are or there aren't, but that's
I hear you on